is a great segue into the fourth. So you need to start to move any stuck pain or trauma that your body is harboring. So number four is releasing anything that your body that is like stuck in your body. Um, so again, what you're going through now is your life lesson. Um, and it was meant for you. And how I really like to feel things and work through things, especially when I'm in the midst of it, is stepping back and saying, okay, what's my lesson? How can I grow from this? Or how am I being asked to step up in a bigger way? Like, how can I become a better person today, a better person for myself and for this baby I'm trying to bring into this world? How can I strengthen my core to be a fierce, powerful woman who now has the capacity to grow and raise a world changing human? So you can see like the circle here that it's not just for, receiving a baby, it's for creating this person that you want to be and creating this person that you want to be for your children. And learning these steps that you can then pass the tools on to them. So everything is working for you, not against you, and it might not feel like that. But just know that once you have your baby, your love will be the deepest love of any. You will feel that deep love and that deep appreciation tenfold more than most moms, I promise you. So that is like the one, or not, I shouldn't say the one, there's lots of, positives, but that is a really big positive of going through this infertility. You start to become really aware and really appreciative of the things you have in your life and the babies that you receive. So the outcome on the other side is incredible. Hang in there. So things that can get stuck in your body that you need to move through could be old pain, sadness, any type of level of sadness through anything, traumas, so miscarriages, anything that has affected you in your life from your past. Could be, something as, somebody said something to you one day that hurt your feelings. Maybe something happened where now you mistrust women. We all have some unraveling and some untangling to do, whether it be small or big or kind of like a mix of everything. So, for me, growing up, I had a really strained relationship with my parents, especially my mom. So I had to do some deep work on connecting with feminine energy because my relationship with the feminine, was broken. And that's, of course, the energy that we need to be in to create the baby. Some other things, I'm just telling you some examples of my life. So you guys can kind of feel like, oh yeah, like, that is actually, a trauma for me. Or it just kind of gives you ideas of like what to think about. I don't want you going digging for all this stuff. I just want you to know, like, just kind of like be aware of what's around you. And if something pops up, it's kind of like, oh, like you can be aware of it and release it. When our son was born, at 2 months old, we had to rush him to the hospital for heart surgery. He also had, during the birth, there was also some trauma going on with the birthing process in his heart, which we actually at the time didn't know that those were aligned. But I had to go through and work through some really deep pain and some really deep mom guilt, that was incredibly present there and what was a complete block for baby number two for a really long time. So a lot of stuff there. Miscarriages too. I had miscarriages that I never fully let myself process, mostly because I just, most people want to move on. So they get sad for a day and they're like, okay, like pull yourself together, get it together. But they don't actually have the tools to energetically release it or emotionally release it. Well, guess what? You may have shut some things off to move forward, but it still could be there underneath, just sitting there. And this is, you don't want things to get stuck. That's when the body starts to become sick. That's when things stop working in your favor. And again, they start to block you. So, again, I don't want you going on a hunt and digging up all this crazy stuff from your past. If you listen and, ask yourself, what do I need to heal right now? You will hear it, or you will be, shown a picture in your mind. Maybe not right away, you could, or it might just kind of like pop up, on a run, or when you're sleeping at night, like in a dream, or maybe you're going through, you just start an IVF cycle and it kind of triggered something. So just be very super conscious of everything that's around you and making you feel off or making you feel pulling you away from that open, flowing, receiving energy and kind of bringing you down. And then work through it. And if you do need help with this is like, where you should find a professional. This is what my one-on-one coaching programs are for. That's what my free Facebook group is for. But just make sure that you're pinpointing them and trying to work through them. And if it's stuck, that's kind of like when you want to make sure that you can find the help and the support that you need. I mean, again, this list is endless. You can journal it out. You can meditate and envision a light coming through the heavens. Like what I do is I go, and this is after like a good cry. Once I like kind of figure out my trauma, I have my good cry, and then I come through and I meditate, and I vision this light coming through that essentially just cleanses my body and pushes all negative energy into the earth. And then once that is done and my body is, light and all like the gray, negative, weird stuff is gone, then I'll like visualize a pink light coming in and surrounding myself in that, like with love and protection. So again, there's like so many different ways that you can do this. You can, go anywhere from very physical to very woo, like really quickly. It's whatever works best for you. There's no right way to do this. If you work with me, I definitely tend to go more of like the journaling, the meditation, and the woo, and like the crystal healing. That's just because that's what's worked for me and I really love it. But of course, you can just talk it out. You can dance, you can scream, you can sing. Running and HIIT works out is another thing that I do all the time. It's especially really good for anger, is running. It's so good. You can focus on your breath. There's breathing exercises to keep you present and grounded. You have grounding exercises. You just need to figure out what works best for you. But again, I'm always asking, what am I learning? How can I grow from this? It really helps take your brain, when you ask these questions, out of survival mode. So you have survival mode, emotional mode, and then it's kind of like, it's learning mode. And when you are kind of in that lack mindset, you're down here, especially if you're going through trauma and you're trying to get yourself, they call it like the two different stories of the brain. So you're trying to get into that, what am I learning from this? Going to that place where you can get out of survival mode, where you were essentially just like fight or flight. Trying to think if there's anything else on this point I want to touch on. I'm going to repeat this, I already talked about it, but this is really important. If you are doing these things and you still can't find a release, or you're having trouble releasing anything, it's incredibly important to find a professional, to find help, to come to our Facebook group and talk it out. I don't want you doing this alone, and you shouldn't do this alone. A professional will help clear whatever it is that you need clearing really quickly. And trust me, you'll feel so much better. And again, it's, you should feel through things, but you shouldn't be torturing yourself over things. That's the difference. And again, what you don't want to do is have anything stuck to the point where it starts to create physical illness or, certain inabilities, like not being able to conceive a baby. So as I go through this, I really don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. I am throwing so much information at you right now, but you don't have to master it all, especially not 100% of all of it. The fact that you're even here right now is starting to give you an awareness, which again is the first step to releasing anything. And that is amazing. You being here is enough. The magic does happen when you incorporate this into your life and it becomes subconscious. So if you can practice it, even if it's just one thing, practice until you master it, and you will start to see and feel that shift, and then you'll like want to keep going. But yeah, just being here is enough, and just honor that, and congratulate yourself and really celebrate that. What else? So anything else that you want to release, that's just like really anything that's negative or taking up emotional space in your brain, you're thinking about it a lot, that's all stuff that you need to release to receive a baby. So it could be that you have a job with crazy hours, a physically grueling job. Maybe you're on your feet for 12-hour shifts. Maybe you had a partner who you wish was around more. These are all really important things to think about. I'm not saying release and like quit your job, but just think like, oh, like, this is actually really physically taxing on my body. Um, and this is holding me back and keeping me in that restrictive space. So it's, maybe you can take more frequent breaks. Maybe you can just consciously sit more. Maybe you can drink more water. Or maybe it's just, you need to go home and make sure you turn off all electronics so you can shut your brain down if, you had a really crazy stimulating day. Little shifts like that are really going to help you. And